Well, welcome to another Richard Head Longbows video. We're talking about tillering today. A lot of you are making your own bows. Some people have got room to put a tiller on the wall like this, and I believe we've done a video showing how to make one of these. The advantage is you have a long length of rope. You can stand well back, draw the bow and watch the curve of the bow, and that's the process of tillering, getting that nice even curve, or taking a little bit off here and there until you get that. Not everyone has got room to put this on the wall, and when I started I used something like this, which is the old-fashioned tiller, probably used for hundreds of years. A piece of wood with some notches cut in it. Now the word tiller, I think, is an Anglo-French word for a beam, and I think it was the beam of a loom. So tiller is like this stick, if you like, or beam. You've also got a tiller on a boat attached to the rudder, and you move it. It's like a lever to move the boat. Tillering is also something to do with plants, the shoots coming up from plants. So if anyone knows where the word tillering came from, and now we obviously associate it with the process of making the bow bend evenly and training it to bend. The word tiller is known, but tillering has become associated with bow making. Someone along the line made up the word, I think. But interesting, if anyone knows, great, we'd like to know. So that's it. The bow is clamped, or the stave is clamped in the end of the tiller. Just got a simple G clamp there. It's as easy to put it in a Black & Decker, otherwise it's in your stomach, which is one way of doing it, as long as you've got strong stomach muscles. If it's in the trusty old Black & Decker, you can clamp it in there. And we've got notches cut, so we'd have a long string, pull it back, slip it into the first notch after drawing it quite a few times, training it to bend, slip the string into there. We can then look at it, we can take it out and prop it up against the bench or wherever, stand back and look at it. So once we're happy that it's bending evenly, we can obviously take it out, put it on the workbench, take a little bit off the stiff limb, put it back in again, pull it again. Once we're happy, we can pull it into the next notch. These are 3-inch centres, 75mm, and that first one, let's put my glasses on, I won't be able to see a thing. That first one is about 11 inches up there, about 28 centimetres, and then 3-inch centres, 3-inch, 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 and then I've dropped it down to about 2-inch, and you could make it even less, so that when you're getting near full draw, you're not pulling it back 3 inches every time. You're getting into that stage where things could go horribly wrong if you try and go too quickly. So you draw it back, and then when you do get back to full draw, you can quickly take it out, stand it up, so you can stand back and look at the shape of the bow. Don't leave it fully drawn for too long. A few seconds, 5 seconds if you can. Bring it back and take the string off, relax. And obviously once you've got the bow to bracing height, that's when you will be getting it back to full draw. I've made lots of bows using something like this. This is a bit of scrap wood. It was a piece of lemon wood, you can say full of knots, so it wouldn't have made a bow. Piece of scrap. And it works. So if you've not got room for the tiller on the wall, something like this would do the job nicely. Let's show you now how to make one of these tillers, and I've got a piece of ash here. The grain isn't such that it will make anything at all. It's a bit of scrap that's been lying around, would have ended up on the pile of wood for fires, I should think. So we'll just show you how to make something out of a piece like this. Right, to make the tiller, I've got this piece of scrap ash, can be any wood, doesn't matter. Got to cut a notch in the end like this, which is about 1 inch, 25mm by 25mm. So I'll just quickly mark that. This particular piece of wood is the width of 3 centimetres, inch and an eighth, by 2 inches, just over 50 millimetres. That one's about the same, so it doesn't need to be a huge piece, but strong enough. There we go, that's the notch cut. So we now need to mark where our first notch is going to go, and on the one we have here it's about 11 inches, which is 28 centimetres. 280 millimetres, 11 inches roughly. You can decide yourself what you want to do, but we'll keep them the same. So it's about 11 inches. From there, mark that off, mark across with the square, and the one we've got here has a depth of about 12, it's about 3/8, nearly half an inch done that one, so 12 millimetres roughly. It's not critical as long as it's deep enough to hold the string. That. So we've then got to we've cut that vertical slot, we've now got to cut that angle there so the string can just slip down into it. So these are about 3-inch centres to start off with, 75 millimetres. So 3-inch, another 3 inches there, 1, 2, 3. So it's about 75 millimetres. Did I say centimetres? I meant millimetres if I did. 75 millimetres. Again, line across. And then down. Then what we'll do, we'll carry on working our way up. those are also 3-inch. We then drop to 2-inch. We could, if we want to make it longer, this particular one will only go up to about 29 inches. So if you wanted 30, 31, 32, you'd need to make the tiller longer. The piece we're working on at the moment is plenty long enough. And perhaps get these, instead of 2-inch, between them, probably drop to 1 inch. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but probably a good idea to the next ones be about 1 inch apart. So there we are, just carry on working on it until you've got all those grooves done, and it works very well. Right, this is the tiller we've made. Obviously we've got more notches to cut in it, but we can do that at a later date, just to show you what it's like. We've put this bow in it. You would have a rough stave, as we normally do. Just have this bow lying around. This is one we've used for have-a-go archery over the years, so it's had a hard life and probably needs re-tillering now. But let's just slip it into the first groove just to show what we would do. So that's in the first groove, not too much tension on the bow, and we can then put it up on the wall and stand back and have a look at it like we would with this particular tiller, with the length of rope and the pulley wheels. We can see whether it's right, then without waiting too long take it down again, and then we can pull it up into the next groove. Again, stand back and look at it, see what the shape is, and if we're happy we can carry on up into the next groove. If we're not happy, take the bow down, take a little bit of wood off till we're happy with the shape of the limbs. So that's that very simple tiller. This particular one, if you want to know how to make one of those, we've got a video which we'll link to for you. Not difficult to do, but obviously you need somewhere to put it. It doesn't have to be indoors, it could be outside, attached to your garage or your fence or whatever. Gives you plenty of room. If something breaks, bits of wood are going to fly around and not injure anyone in your house. So there we are, fairly simple, and it works. That's the outtakes. Tillering now, as far as we're concerned, is associated with this process of making the bend bow, bow bend, not the bend bow,